Hello YouTube, welcome to a new SYNTH Anatomy video. Today I give you an introduction and review of the new Yonac KASPAR Super Synthesizer for iOS. Already at the beginning I would like to mention that KASPAR has audio bus, inter-app audio and iOS AudioUnit support. Also full MIDI and MIDI over Bluetooth support is provided in KASPAR. Before I show you all the features of this new app, here are some sounds of the KASPAR synthesizer. When you start the app, you directly get the Morph page, which is in my opinion the wrong point to starting my introduction to this app. I think the layer page is a better starting point for this app. As you may have already seen in the trailer video, KASPAR has 8 synthesizer layers. In each layer there is not only one part of the engine, but a complete synth engine. In the basic page of the layer menu, you can enable and disable each layer by pressing on the on and off buttons. This page is for all the more basic parameters for your layers. Also you can control independently in each layer the level of the effects. This feature is especially great for sound design oriented musicians. Later you will see what kind of effects you can add to your sounds. On the bottom of this page you can also see mute and solo buttons for each layer. If you like to perform with multiple MIDI keyboards or split your sounds on one keyboard, then the keyboard page is a great tool for you. Here you can transpose and add drift to each layer. Then you have one very cool feature of KASPAR. The MIDI note in and max allows you to split your sounds over the entire keyboard. You can say I want layer 1 from C1 to B1, layer 2 from C2 to B2, and so on. So you can create very easy, deep multi-timbral sounds. On top you can assign multiple MIDI channels to the layers, so you can use also multiple keyboards to control Kaspar. The last page is the experience page, where you can find features which are especially great for users who want to use a lot of velocity and aftertouch on their sounds. Also here you can change the pitch band and activate and deactivate MIDI sustain for each layer. Before switching to the synth engine, some more sound examples. On the left side, you have also a master volume for the complete layer synth engine. Further to the edit page, where you can edit the synth engine for each layer. On the left side, you can switch between each synthesizer level. The way how you can switch between layers, in my opinion, is very intuitive and clever made. For each layer you have one complete synthesizer with a quite standard layout. Oscillator, filter, amp, LFO, envelope, modulation, ARP and chord maker. Each synth comes with 3 oscillators and includes 23 different waveforms. These range from more classic to more interesting waveforms, which leave a lot of room for creating own sounds. Then each oscillator features a range of knobs for the tuning, octaves, semi, cent. Then also it includes a pulse width or a timbre knob. If pulse width is not possible on the waveform, you can use the encoder also to change the timbre of the waveform. Then you have also a volume knob for each oscillator, And other than in oscillator 1, you can find in oscillator 2 and 3 also a ring mod function. This feature gives you more harmonics inside oscillators. On the absolute right side, you have also a switch for poly and legato, and an additional glide option for all three oscillators. Beside the oscillators, you receive also a versatile noise generator with a tone and volume knob. My downside for this page is that it doesn't include some FM features. From a super synthesizer, I would have hoped for this sound feature. All three oscillators goes then to one filter. The filter section features 15 different filter models, from more classic to more special filters, like a formant or comb filter. The filter envelope curve has been solved very interesting in KASPAR. You can simply move it with your finger in all directions. Compared to other synths, this envelope is quite deep, because you have here an attack, decay, sustain, hold, final and release envelope. Beside this, you have also a delay amount of the envelope, and you can choose between an exponential and linear envelope. On the right side, you have also more classic filter controls like the cutoff, resonance, track and blend. The filter section is great done by the Yonac developers, because there gives you an amazing amount of high quality filters which can really change your sound completely. Further to the amp section, where you have also a deep envelope with a delay amount, attack, sustain, decay, hold and release. Here you can choose between different curves types, and also the same way to edit this envelope like in the filter. Next to the LFO page, where you have two LFOs with 7 different waveforms and different parameters. An interesting feature here is that you can add pulse width to the LFO waveform. On top, to add more a versatile touch to the LFOs, you can add for each LFO a sample and hold. This is a great feature, especially if you want to make more experimental or chaotic sounds. Next, you have one more envelope for the modulation destinations. Compared to the M envelope, this one doesn't feature the option to change the curve type. On the next page, you find the modulation matrix with 6 entries. It's designed very intuitive, and it's very easy to make modulations. You have first the destinations, where you have 21 targets. Cool, here you can also add modulation to the ring mod of oscillator 2 and 3. Then you have your mod, LFO or envelope, and the mod control. Here you can, for example, map the mod wheel to the modulation and control with it the mod amount. I would like to see more modulation targets, because especially when the synthesizer is described as super synthesizer, it must have more targets than now, in my opinion. On the next page, you have a full featured ARP with 3 different operation modes. The live mode is more the classical way how to play as arpeggiator, and in the program mode you can design your own ARPs like a sequencer. In the program fixed mode you can only play the same notes with all the keys. This is a handy feature if you like to have a fixed arpeggiator or sequence on a specific layer. The ARP section also features multiple different ways how it plays, more classical ones like up and down, but also more creative ones like random or chord mode, where the ARP plays chords back. Not to forget, it also includes all good known parameters like gate, swing, note, note repeat, octave and octave repeat. On the last page you can find a chord maker. For example, if you want to play only a specific chord for a layer, you can design it here. Important to mention here is that all these features which are demonstrated now exist on every layer, so on all 8 layers. The next 2 pages belong to the effects alone. This all comes from the famous guitar apps Tone Stack from Yonac. As mentioned already, if you want to use them inside your layers, you can mix them inside the layer mixer page with the FX and FX2 knob. Each FX page includes a compressor, a full-featured EQ with an in-depth parameters like multiple filter types, then a nice sounding chorus, a phaser, a flanger, an amplifier effect with 4 different circuits and cabinets, a delay effect with independent controls for left and right, and a versatile reverb with a freeze function. Each effect page includes the same amount and type of effects. In my opinion, KASPAR includes a great selection of good sounding effects, but I would like to see a graphical UI for the EQ that would simplify the work with it. Then you have also a preference menu with several audio and MIDI related features. And on the last page you find also a full featured tape recorder where you can record your sounds, loop them and export them. On the top left you find also a nice designed sound browser with 255 onboard presets. Beside the browser you have also a CPU level and BPM level display. Before showing you my favorite feature inside this new synth, here are some more sounds. On the first page you find the More feature, or for me the sound design feature on the go. We have seen that the synth engine in KASPAR is based on 8 different layers, from 1 to 8. In this menu you can group every layer to 4 different points, A, B, C and D, and morph through them. Per example, you can say layer 1 and 2 to A, 3 and 4 to B, 5 and 6 to C, and 7 and 8 to D. So you can morph through each sound and discover quick new sound timbres in your multi-patch. If you like the morph feature inside the Moog Animoog synthesizer, you will love this one also because it has a similar approach. On the top you can choose if you want to morph per hand or automatically through the sounds. With the X and Y speed you can adjust this precisely. Then, as mentioned already, you can group your sounds in 4 different groups. In a separate auto section you can also record movements and play them back in the loop in different ways. Before I give you my impression and test conclusion of KASPAR, I want to give you some more audio demos. The conclusion for this new app from Yonac is mostly positive. KASPAR is an excellent sounding new iOS synthesizer with a lot of sound design options. Especially the direct AudioUnit support gives you far more freedom how you can use KASPAR. The multi-timbral 8 synthesizer engine is in my opinion nothing completely new, but deep enough to get a lot of new sound of it. Even here some FM features are missing, the wide range of oscillator waveforms and filter types gives you a lot of sonic possibilities compared to more classic virtual analog synths. I must say here that I really like the design language of the Yonac team in this app because it's very clever, intuitive and easy designed without having too much fear of the menus. KASPAR is a very deep and menu-based synth, but the interface is so good designed that I doesn't have any big problems with it. The onboard effects have a good sound quality and gives you a lot of ways to refine your sounds. Not negative, but some points where the app can be improved is the CPU consumption. You must know that KASPAR is not light on CPU because it consumes quite a lot. When I play 4 notes on my iPad 2, the CPU bar goes from 35% to 50%, but depends very on the chosen patch. Also, as mentioned already, I would like to see FM features and more modulation options to absolutely confirm that this is a massive super synthesizer for iOS. I really love the interface of the synth, but I would like to see also a little GUI for the EQ. In summary, I can say that KASPAR Synthesizer is a very deep and versatile new multi-timbral synthesizer for iOS. With an easy-to-use interface, it invites you to create multi-layered sounds in a very intuitive way. Even if KASPAR is announced as super synthesizer, it is in my opinion not yet this absolute monster synth. If the developer will add some more features to the synth in future, it's possible that KASPAR becomes one of the best synths on iOS. Let's see what they bring to it in future. I hope you get a nice overview of the new KASPAR synthesizer. If you have questions, please write them in the comments below. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. I will upload also soon a sound demo only video to show you more sounds of it. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a positive thumb and a subscription for more future videos. Big thanks for watching and for your continued support. I hope to see you again in all of my next videos. Bye!